You know how life is full of transitions? Those moments where the old world just seems to fall away and something totally new is trying to be born. Well, today, we're going to look at a kind of map for that journey. It's called the 7 Breaths of Becoming.
And it all really kicks off with this one big idea. You can't just read about changing your life in a book and, get it. Transformation is something you have to live through, all of it. The messy parts, the beautiful parts, the deeply personal parts.
Okay, so if change is something we have to live through, then how in the world are you supposed to navigate it? What are you supposed to do when the maps you've been using your whole life are suddenly useless?
So here's the thing. The secret isn't about trying to control the chaos or wrestle it into submission. It's about finding the rhythm that's already there, underneath it all. The idea is that even the wildest, most disruptive changes actually follow a natural, almost predictable pattern, if you just know what to look for.
So what is this rhythm of change? What does it look like? Let's dive right into the framework that lays it all out. Okay, so here it is, the whole shebang, the 7-stage cycle of transformation. This is basically the entire journey mapped out from the world we think we know through its complete unraveling and all the way to creating something new. So let's walk through it one step at a time.
First things first, we have to get honest about the world we've already built for ourselves. This covers the first 2 stages, and it's all about the reality we live in before the cracks really start to show.
So everything starts with stage 1, expectation. And really, this is just your reality as it exists right now. I mean, think about your life, your job, your relationships, your daily habits. The point is, all of it, every single part, is just an echo of what you believe is possible for yourself and for the world.
Now, this is absolutely crucial. There's no judgment here. It's not about whether your world is good or bad. It's just honest. Your life right now is a perfect mirror, reflecting back the beliefs you hold. And that's our starting point. That's the baseline where all change begins.
And then, well, life happens. That brings us to stage 2, contradiction. This is when something comes along and tests your expectations. Maybe you lose a job, a relationship ends. Or maybe it's just this quiet, nagging feeling that something isn't right. And look, this isn't life punishing you. The framework calls it sacred friction. It's just life's way of knocking on the door, inviting you to grow.
So, what happens when that sacred friction becomes a little too much to handle? Well, that's when we get to the next couple of stages. And honestly, this is often the toughest part of the whole ride. This is where that world you've built really starts to crack.
See, when that friction gets to be too much, our brain goes into full-on protection mode. To shield us from the pain of our world not making sense anymore, it does something really clever. It starts to edit reality. And that brings us to stage 3, filtering.
So what does this filtering actually feel like? Well, it shows up in 3 main ways, which this framework calls the 3 poisons. You've got craving, which is when we desperately cling to the way things used to be. Then there's aversion, where we just push away anything that feels painful or new. And finally, ignorance, which is basically just pretending everything's fine. The key thing is, these aren't character flaws. They're just signals that our mind is trying really hard to protect us.
But, you can only filter reality for so long. Eventually, the truth gets too big to ignore. And that leads us to stage 4, collapse. I know, that word sounds terrifying, right? But the way this is reframed is just beautiful. It's not about hitting rock bottom. It's about the illusion finally shattering, leaving this clear, open space. It's not a fall, it's a clearing. Think of it like this. The collapse isn't destroying you. It's destroying the self-deception that was keeping you stuck. So, yeah, it feels like an ending, but it's actually the first real step toward clarity.
All right, so the old world is collapsed. We're standing in that clear, open space. Now what? Well, this is where we shift from falling apart to quietly, carefully rebuilding from the inside out.
This takes us to stage 5, gestation. I love the nickname for this one, the season of the hermit. Because after all the noise and the chaos of the collapse, things get quiet. We retreat. It's a time for stillness, for just allowing new insights to bubble up without any pressure to do anything. Your only job here is to listen, not to act.
And you can really feel the difference in energy here, right? On one side in gestation, it's all internal. Wisdom is gathering in silence. The self is turning inward. But then you get to stage 6, emergence, and bam, that energy starts to turn outward. Your instincts start to find a voice. You begin to stretch toward the world again, taking those first tiny trusting steps based on what you learned in the quiet. And all those first tiny steps out into the world They lead us to the final amazing piece of the puzzle, becoming whole again.
And here we are, stage 7, integration. This is where it all comes together. It's that beautiful moment where the truth you found in that quiet hermit phase and the life you're actually living, they start singing the same tune. You're not trying to be authentic anymore. You just are.
But, and this is a big but, don't think of this as the finish line. Integration isn't the end of the story. It's your new beginning. It's the foundation for the next chapter, the start of a whole new cycle. Only this time, you're building it on something so much more honest and whole.
So when you look at the whole cycle, you start to see it's not some instruction manual you have to follow, right? It's a pattern that's already living inside of you. The goal isn't to learn it, it's to recognize it, to trust it, and to remember that you're not just going through the rhythm of change, you are the rhythm.